Marley was dead. Everyone knew it. His name was on the counting house door, in the papers, and in the memories of all who had worked with him. Ebenezer Scrooge, his old business partner, had been the only one who worked closely with him. But Scrooge was a very grumpy man. He liked counting money more than he liked people, and never had time for friends, fun, or laughter. It was a cold, foggy Christmas Eve in London. The streets were full of mist, and the lamps glowed dimly through the fog. Inside his dark counting house, Scrooge sat by a tiny, weak fire. His clerk, Bob Cratchit, shivered at his small desk, wrapped in a scarf and rubbing his cold hands together. Scrooge had locked most of the coals away, saying they were too expensive to burn. Suddenly, Scrooge's cheerful nephew, Fred, arrived full of energy and smiles. "Merry Christmas, Uncle!" he shouted. "Bah! Humbug!" Scrooge growled. Fred tried to explain that Christmas was a time for happiness and kindness. He invited Scrooge to Christmas dinner, but Scrooge refused. Fred laughed gently and left, wishing Bob a happy holiday too. Next, 2 gentlemen came asking for donations to help poor people. "Many are hungry this Christmas," they said. Scrooge replied grumpily that prisons and workhouses were enough, and if the poor died, it was no concern of his. Finally, Bob Cratchit asked if he could have Christmas Day off. Scrooge grumbled but allowed it, muttering that it was a waste of a day's work. That night, Scrooge returned to his cold, lonely home. As he opened the door, he thought he saw Marley's face in the brass door knocker. It vanished, leaving him startled but determined to ignore it. Inside, he ate a small bowl of gruel by the dim fire. Then he heard strange bells and a heavy clanking sound. Suddenly, Marley's ghost appeared, draped in long chains made of cash boxes, ledgers, keys, and coins. Scrooge was terrified. Marley's ghost warned him that a life spent caring only about money led to misery after death. But there was hope. Scrooge would be visited by 3 spirits, and if he listened to them, he might change his ways. With a final clink of his heavy chains, Marley vanished into the night, leaving Scrooge frightened and restless. Scrooge awoke to a soft, twinkling light. The ghost of Christmas past appeared, a bright, glowing figure that looked both young and old at the same time. "Come with me," said the spirit. They passed through walls and streets until Scrooge found himself outside his old school. Snow covered the ground, but the air was full of memories. He saw himself as a small boy, sitting alone in the cold classroom over the holidays, reading by himself. His heart ached at the loneliness he had once felt. Next, the spirit showed him his sister Fan. She had come to bring young Scrooge home, full of smiles and love. He remembered how happy she made him feel. Then they went to Mr. Fezziwig's warehouse. It was warm and bright, decorated with ribbons and lantern. Music and laughter filled the air. Young Scrooge danced with joy, surrounded by kindness. He realized how wonderful it had felt to work for someone who cared about people, not just money. Finally, the spirit showed Scrooge his lost love, Belle. She told him gently that he had changed, that he loved money more than people. Heartbroken, Belle left him. Years later, she had a happy family of her own. Scrooge felt the sadness of the life he had missed. Overwhelmed, he begged the spirit to take him back. The visions faded, leaving him alone in his room. Soon the ghost of Christmas present appeared, a giant jolly figure wearing a green robe trimmed with white fur and a crown of holly. The spirit radiated warmth and happiness. "Come, touch my robe," he said. Suddenly, they were in the bustling streets of London on Christmas morning. People were singing, laughing, and buying food for their families. The spirit took Scrooge to Bob Cratchit's small home. Though they were poor, their hearts were full of joy. Mrs. Cratchit carefully prepared the Christmas dinner. The family crowded around the table, laughing and talking. Tiny Tim, Bob's small and fragile son, sat on Bob's shoulder with his crutch, smiling gently despite his weakness. Scrooge's heart ached. "Will Tiny Tim survive?" he asked. The spirit warned him that Tim's future depended on kindness and care. The spirit then showed Scrooge Christmas celebrations across the city. Miners underground, sailors on ships, families of every size, all sharing joy despite hardships. Before leaving, the spirit revealed two frightened children hiding under his robe. Ignorance and want. They were poor and desperate. The spirit warned Scrooge to beware them. Then he vanished. The ghost of Christmas yet to come appeared silently, cloaked in black, pointing with a pale hand. Scrooge followed, trembling. They passed scenes of businessmen speaking coldly about a man's death, people stealing belongings from the dead, and a family relieved that a creditor had passed away. Finally, the spirit led him to a graveyard. Snow covered a lonely stone. Scrooge knelt, brushing the snow aside, and saw the name, Ebenezer Scrooge. He cried, "Spirit, I promise to change. I will honor Christmas in my heart and help others." The spirit did not speak, but pointed once more before vanishing. Scrooge woke in his own bed, full of joy. Sunlight streamed through the windows. He laughed, jumped, and danced. He called to a boy in the street to buy the largest turkey for the Cratchits. He went out, greeting everyone he met with a cheerful "Merry Christmas." He visited the charity gentleman and gave generously. Then he went to his nephew Fred's house and joined the Christmas dinner with smiles and laughter. Scrooge raised Bob Cratchit's salary, helped his family, and became like a second father to Tiny Tim, who thrived and grew strong. From that day forward, Scrooge kept Christmas in his heart all year. He was kind, generous, and full of joy. And Tiny Tim said happily, "God bless us, everyone."
Thanks for listening to today's story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you like the adventure, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss a new story or fun surprise. Until next time.